And we're back for another episode of Take Two Reviews. My name is Ian. This is my best bud Christian. Tonight we watched Greta, and I think it's best movie of the year, right? First thoughts on Greta, Chris. What'd you think?
Trailer had me sold. I liked the trailer. I was like, okay, I'm in for sure. I wasn't sure. I mean, we haven't seen what's this actor's name? Chloe something, right?
Chloe Moretz, and I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
I was watching this movie and I was thinking like, oh girl, you could do so much better. This movie
She deserves better.
Yeah, this movie sucked. I thought we were watching Apollo 11 today.
Yeah. I was like, Greta.
We should have watched Greta. Apollo 11. Tell us about Greta, Chris.
So Greta is basically a story about this girl who's probably in her early 20s, maybe mid 20s, who's from Boston, who moves to New York with her best friend and the roommates. And then she discovers a purse on a train and finds the ID and returns it to its owner. This lady, the plot is basically she plants these bags in hopes to find someone who will return them so then she can have company and try and keep them around, because she's a very lonely woman who's psychotic and a terrible villain.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just my opinion, I think it had to do with the directing. I couldn't tell where they wanted to take her character. Like sometimes I would see where they're going with her, and then 10 minutes later I'm like, no, okay, now they lost me again. I don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah, I feel like this movie had like a really big like identity crisis. Like it wanted to be one thing and then it wanted to be another.
Yeah. I felt like going into this it was going to be more like that tense feeling, like Disturbia. Remember Disturbia?
Yeah.
Like that kind of feeling like tense and watched and like anxious. And this one was like, no, I was totally fine the whole movie. I was kind of laughing the whole time.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. There's parts where I was just like, I'm glad we were drinking a beer during this because I was laughing at parts. There's this a particular part where the Greta, the older lady who's the villain of the movie, she has that like one of those like 2005 like fat
like a Nokia
phones, and she's following this other character, and she's sending pictures to Chloe Moretz showing that she's following her friend, and these pictures are HD quality, like zoomed in like Sony camera pictures. And the actors just aren't like, they're trying to like pull off like the whole like scared and frightened thing. It just wasn't landing.
You could tell with like, you know, just the progression of the movie and the plot along with the score of the movie. Those are moments where like the music just starts, what's the word, like crescendoing, and you're like, it's like meant to like say like stuff is going down right now, like it's about to, and you're just like, I don't care.
First act of the movie was very it was boring. Like I was kind of
boring.
I think I fell asleep for a little bit.
I was getting annoyed. They try to sell you on the main character, and I'll tell you about Chloe's character. Just uninteresting. I did not care for her emotional backstory that has to do with her father and her mother. I won't give any spoilers away, but you know, some things went down with her family, and they try to use that for her. Like it's like she's got this like chip on her shoulder, you know, like she's working through things, and
not to mention
didn't work.
The world's worst boss.
Oh yeah.
this girl is literally getting stalked, and this boss is like, well, do something about it because we got customers. Or there's a particular scene where
that she's getting dinner where the main character works, and she wants to like leave because she's freaked out. And she tells her boss, like, that's the stalker. And he's just like, she made a reservation.
Yeah, she made reservations. Like, get her a drink. It was a horrible movie. Second act, we get into the movie, and it's she realizes that this woman is actually she's technically a murderer.
Yeah, well, we find out she's like an abusive, controlling mother. You start getting the sense of her. This is the only development of this main character or the villain, is that you realize she's a lot more ominous than you thought, and a lot sicker. But
there's one particular scene in the second act that I thought, well, I think we both agreed that was like the best part of the movie, is when Greta puts Chloe Moretz's character inside this like wooden like coffin.
Yeah.
And it was probably like the best acting of the movie coming from Greta.
Like just one scene though, really.
Yeah.
They were talking and like only at that moment I'm like, this is where the villain, this is what she should have been the whole movie, and this is what Chloe's character should have been the whole movie.
So what did you like about the movie?
Oh, it's hard to say. I'm not like.
Okay.
I'm okay with the plot. Like, I think it's a simple plot, but I like it because I like these type of like thrillers, whatever it's trying to go for.
Yeah, it was just
But
poorly
I wanted it to be
executed.
the thriller I was sold on in the trailer, and not jumping back from like cliche horror jumps and scares and music to then like psychological thrilling scenes and then back to thriller. I'm like, let's stick with one.
All right. Well, give me your final thoughts about the movie.
Final thoughts. Big disappointment. Very let down.
I think the
I hope
funniest.
you get a better job.
I think the funniest thing about this is that when I spoke to him today and I was just like, "What are we gonna watch today?" And he was like, "We're gonna watch Greta," and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Are you serious? This movie's gonna be good." I'm like, "No."
I know. I said I think the trailer looked good. I was like, I'm interested. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I like the trailer. I'm in.
My final thoughts is basically stems off what Chris said right now. If you want to watch the movie, just watch the trailer because everything else is just stupid filming.
This movie's not that long, but it felt like forever.
Yeah.
Dragged.
Felt like I watched The Return of the King. It had like 3 separate endings.
But yeah, I mean, I would just say find something else. Maybe wait on this one.
Captain Marvel comes out next week, so you could wait or watch
Apollo 11.
Yeah, watch Apollo 11, which is probably what we should have done.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.